Hi, hi, hi. Welcome to live, guys. We are doing this water droplets here in today's live. In last live, we did this background, this smooth shading of this background darkness. Today, we are doing this. You can see the water effect trying to do here. Tools, as you can see, we need so much of tools in are that perfection. If you have any questions, you can ask regarding drawing, sketching. You can see we are drawing here the water droplets that are blurry, the reference image. So we are trying to do the exact same thing. You can see we are doing this highlights of water. I'm using a combo mono eraser for it. First of all, just doing this three lines of rain as I can see in reference image. Here we don't have to do that exact same droplet. We can do it in our own way because we have to create that illusion, not that exact same thing. But yes, the details should be same exactly the reference image. You can see if you can observe properly that the droplets also have that shadow. So for that I am using 4B pencil and somewhere it has big droplets. For that I am using a Tombow mono eraser like this. and somewhere it is blurry. So for that part, I am using a needed eraser, which you can see here. Needed eraser to create that blurry effect. The process of smooth background by graphite I explained in last live, which we did last week. In this week, I am trying to do the detailing work of that background, which you can see. We are trying to draw the droplets, the raindrops. So you can see how I'm trying to do that raindrops in my sketchwork. First, by using a mono eraser, and then I'm using a 4B pencil to give that highlights to the drop so that it can look more realistic. Then you can use mono zero, sorry, mechanical eraser for big highlights. Just turn it on and create that minute details which you could see in the reference image. And it will enhance your raindrops more. You could say how we are doing that raindrop of reference image. Your sketch. Hope you could see that how we are doing it. You could do it the same way. The process isn't much complicated, but it takes time. As you can see, we have to observe it properly. Then we have to check out what the materials we have to use to create that effects on our paper. So you can see how we are creating that raindrop effect here. Some droplets are without shadows, so you can just create it by this lines and not using any pencil, and you use a needed eraser for blurry droplets which can't be seen properly. For that, I'm using a needed eraser. You can see to give it also a highlight. You have to use 4B or 5B pencil according to you and shadow, create that shadow effect like I'm doing. see how we are creating that rain droplets in our sketchwork, which we could see in reference image. First, let's just use a Tombow eraser and complete the first process. Here it has like this, one, two droplets here, here like this. Hope you could see it. Hope you could see the droplet properly, which I'm trying to show you. Also the size, check. So you can see how we are creating the droplets rain. The same way you can also do. Just create free lines like this for rain effect. Don't forcefully press the eraser, just like free lines like this, because it's rain, so you can see how rain falls. As a artist, you have to observe things around you, and while sketching, you have to think how to create that thing in sketch. So you have to observe it in that way. Normal people observe differently, but artists observe the things in a different manner. You will know it if you also love art. Here we are trying to create that rain effect. This is the first process for creating it. You see, droplets are like this. They don't have proper shape, so you have to just create three lines for that rain effect. You can create the drop of water like this, and then you have to add details, more details in it. I could see one droplet like this. So just trying to do this. You could see how we are doing the drain effect here in our schedule, which we could see in the reference image also. So it's not much hard to create that drain effect with graphite, but you have to understand the process, and that you will understand when you observe things properly. The reference image, as you can see here, it has these white lines which we could do by combo eraser. And to add the details, we have to use that graphite pencils for adding that shadow to look that more realistic. You could see how we are creating it. You are also doing it better. Check out how it's done realistically. This way you can create that water drops in the sketch. If you have any questions regarding anything in sketching or in my work, you can ask me freely, comments or in DM. I will solve the problem. See how the first layer we did. As you can see, the first process is done, which is of combo eraser, which you could see. First, we did all this water droplets, water drops here, and now the second process is with 5D pencil, and we have to add that highlights. As you can see, it has shadows in its left, so we have to add shadows in the left of each droplet here. We actually don't have to add highlights to every droplet. Here I can observe it's mostly on big droplets, so we only have to add highlights on big water drops. The small water drop shadow isn't much visible in the reference image, so we also don't need to add it. Just add that big shadow droplets. Then we will go to the third process in which we need needed eraser. First, let us complete this process. You can see I'm sharing you clear process, complete process. You can say of my work in every week's life. So this way you can also grow from a small artist to intermediate artist for sure. You can see how we are adding that shadows to the droplets here. phone by phone. Thank you, sir. So you can see how we are adding the shadow to the big droplets and it looks realistic then. In hyperrealism, you have to add that small details. You have to observe the things properly so that you could create the exact same illusion in your SketchUp. You don't have to copy the exact same droplets here, but you have to create that illusion as an artist in your hyperrealism book. So here, after that, I'm using makeup brush just to mix up things. Yeah. After that, we will highlight the droplets with mechanical eraser here. Then it will look more realistic here. So as you can see, we added shadows to the droplets and now we have to add details. So for that shiny highlights, we have to use here a mechanical eraser as you can see here. Welcome to chat, welcome to live guys. Now I am adding that small details here, small highlights you can see of the droplets, create more realistic look of rain. This way you can also create hyperrealism in your artwork as I am trying to do. You don't have to add highlights to all drops, but limited drops which I can see in the reference image. Also, you can see this blurry effect which we have to create by needed eraser. That's the next process. First, let us complete the highlight process. You can see how we are creating the highlights by using a mechanical eraser here. Hope you could see it properly, guys. And yeah, it's not much complicated, but it takes much time. As you can see, each process takes a lot of time here, but you have to give that time if you want to create that hyperism in a work like this. You could see how our droplets are looking now. It are looking much realistic than before. The shadow tone also you have to observe properly and create that same tones. The shadow isn't fully dark. It is like this. See, it's dark from upper side, then it fades out. So the same way you have to create the shadow of droplets here. And as you can see, now it is looking much better than before. You could see how now the rain drops are looking after our highlight. And the last step for that is with the help of a kneaded eraser, we have to add that blurry look, blurry textures of rain, which we could see in reference image here. So let's start the process. Let's give that a blurry effect. Wait, just a minute. The kneaded eraser needs to be loaded up. Right. Okay. It's good, I guess. Good to go. It has a lot of blurry effects on the edges of the faces as the drops are on it. This way you can create the rain effect with graphite in your work. The small highlights with needed either will give you a nice blurry effects on your work. As you can see in our work. This way you can also just create like this. Hope you understand the process of doing droplets with graphite in hyperrealism work. So you can see the process of rain is almost complete here. If some highlights are needed, I will give it afterwards. Rest the process is complete of creating the drain effect background. Now we will move forward to detail the portrait work in next live session. Here we can see we created that rain effect here, which we could see in reference image. As you can see it, you could see that reference image and just have a look at my work also. So the rain effect is almost created here. You can see that highlights, that shadows of big droplets, and you could also see here in some space, some areas we use that needed eraser to create the blurry tones. So yes, we are done with the session here, and we will do the next work in the upcoming sessions. Hope you like it. If you want any kind of help, you can ask me whether in comments or you can DM me in Insta also. So that's it for today. I will end the live here. Thank you.